Alright, so can you say your name and spell it?
My name is David, D-A-V-I-D.
What has your experiences been as being homeless?
Depression, loneliness. It's just hard.
What do you think the city should do about homelessness?
I think they should do something for the youth, for the young people who are homeless. I think they should segregate the young and the old, because they're from two different situations.
What does home mean to you?
Home is a comfortable word. It means shelter. It means the safe spot that you can always go to when you don't have to worry about nothing else.
What kind of assistance do you get?
Right now, the only assistance I get is from myself. That's all I got.
What kind of assistance do you think should be available?
I think there should be more people out there giving homeless people food, like at least lunch. I think there should be giving homeless people clothes. There's a lot of homeless people that need clothes, and helping them out any way they can.
My name is Commissioner Jesse Matthews. JESSYMATTHEW in a S.
Okay. So you were homeless back in the day, right?
I was homeless.
How long ago was it since you've been homeless?
Since it's been, I would say since 2011, 2012, probably like 2 years I've been homeless.
Alright. What were your experiences when you were homeless?
Sleeping in police stations, sleeping in, like ending up sleeping in front of the library a couple times during the day, and just having nowhere to put my stuff, always living in an unhealthy condition, having a hard, always having to rely on people and not being able to rely on myself.
What changes should be made so that it would be easier for people?
They should really think about those who are going to school, the young homeless people who are going to school to try to get their high school diploma. They should think about homeless high school students, think about homeless kids, think about everyone.
What does home mean to you?
Home, to me, it means like a comfortable place for me to sleep and lay my head down, a place for me and my family, a place for me to be warm and have a place where I can just walk around and just feel comfortable with everything and not have to feel cold and not have to worry about where to put my stuff, not have to worry about where my food is and anything. Just have a place to live and a place to lay my head down.
What help were you receiving when you were homeless?
I was receiving help from the Community Services Department, which is now, back then it was the Community Service Division, and I was also receiving help from our good friend Mayor Tim O'Brien. And they were helping me with anything from food, anything with everything, especially my good friend Chris Montez, who is the department head of that department.
Say your name and spell it, please.
Christopher Montez, CHRISTOPHER, Montez, MONTES.
Okay. What kind of experiences have you encountered helping homeless people?
A lot. Actually, I've been here for 25 years, and over the years that I've been here, we've had dozens, if not hundreds of people walk through the doors without anything to eat. without a place to stay. More recently, however, I can point to events that have occurred because of the mayor's restructuring. We've been able to help people in a more direct way with finding shelter, getting them food. We've been able to give them gift cards to get clothing, gift cards to get food. We've been able to access multiple donations from businesses in the city of New Britain. And I've been able to make phone calls to get people hooked up with vital services, health services, for example, getting them state services, getting them anything that they need that's specific to their health and well-being, their food, their clothing, their shelter. So over the years, it's been something that's always been important to me for youth who are homeless. We were actually the very first agency in town to operate a host home. We had actually more than one host home for people that were under the age of 18. We had folks in our independent living skills program live with families that were willing to take them in, and that was 20 years ago. So we were working on that issue quite some time ago. And then there have been multiple other times that we've been able to assist people from the high school, for example. We had a young man whose parents had died, and he was living with his sister, but his sister moved halfway through the year. He had no place to go, and we were able to help him through the YMCA, who we partnered with and paid to have him be able to stay there, and they bent their rules for us, which we were grateful for. But ultimately, he ended up graduating and going in the military, and wrote me some nice letters afterwards saying that he was doing well and was grateful for the work that New Britain Youth and Family Services was able to help him get to the place he was going.
Please start by saying your name and spelling.
Spelling?
Yeah, spelling your last name.
Okay. I'm Pastor Dagmar Rosenberg, and my last name is spelled Rosenberg.
Okay. And how has working with the homeless changed your perspective on homelessness?
It really has changed it a lot, because when you see people out on the street with their carts or underneath the highway, they are people that you really don't know. But when you work with them, they are persons, and each one has a story. And it makes you aware that most of us are vulnerable, that most of us are just a few steps away from being in that same situation. If you lose a job and then go through whatever savings you might have, if you experience a home foreclosure, if there is a lengthy illness, all of these are ways that people have become homeless, and it's really very terrifying.
Okay. What would you like to do in the future to help stop homelessness or help prevent it?
Well, one of the ways that I was thinking about is talk to some other pastors, since that's the area and the people with whom I work, and also talk to some of the local agencies to see how we might address that. First of all, looking if there are some places where we can have opportunity for jobs, so that those folks who need a job will be able to go out and have a possibility of getting one, because that was one of the problems. A lot of people are looking and there's nothing out there. And of course there's housing. Maybe some of those factories or some of the places that right now are off limits could be made habitable, so that people could live there, make them into apartments. There are a lot of buildings in town that are not being used, And I realize that there's codes, but if everyone works together, then maybe they will be able to accomplish something. And then also make sure that everyone is aware of the programs that are available to them, whether there's an addiction problem or health and mental health programs where people can then enter into a better life again so that they'll be healthy.
Okay. How have you changed by doing this line of work, whether it's personality-wise or just your whole mind state?
I think it's a mindset, really, because I don't take things for granted anymore. I realize that life has its ups and downs, that we're vulnerable, and I appreciate the people as human beings. Very often what I've noticed on the street, that people look away when they see a homeless person. And I found through working with them that they are just people like everyone else and want to be shown kindness and want to have a voice in what's happening with their own life and to respect them as people.
Can you say your name and spell it?
My name is Robert Smith, ROBERTSMITH.
And what have your experiences been on homelessness?
They should have more places for homeless, man. It's the only place they got. This place in Bridgerton is the only place they got for homeless. They should have more places for homeless.
What does home mean to you?
Homeless.
Home.
Home is my own place where I have my meals, go to sleep, and I get ready to wake up in the morning, make my own breakfast, take my own shower. That's all.
What do you think the city should do on homelessness?
They should open up more shelters for homeless.
Have you gotten any kind of assistance while you were homeless?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Alright, thank you.
Yeah.